So can fast food be healthy? Well, it depends on the choice of food you make. So if you pick the correct foods with proteins in and some vegetables, actually you can get some quite good fast food. But if you load yourself up on chips and pizza and Chinese food and things with preservatives and things like that, then that's not the right choice. So it depends on what you select. For eating healthily is to always be prepared. So good food never magically appears. You have to make sure you always have good food on you, and you prepare good food, you cook good food, and then you'll ensure that you always eat good food. My favourite healthy snack are probably nuts. Nuts have got a good source of protein in, they've got good fats in, they're a source of fibre. They're also really convenient, you can carry them around with you. And there's a lot of health benefits behind them there. They're great for your general health, they're full of vitamins and minerals, and they taste pretty good too. What I'd look at doing would be getting my protein sources in. So as opposed to buying things like chicken and beef, I'd look at buying things like turkey. So turkey tends to be cheaper than other cuts of meat. It's quite tasty, it's a good source of protein, a lean source of protein. I'd also look at tin foods. So tin foods tend to be slightly cheaper than fresh foods. They are still quite fresh and nutritious, and they're also quite tasty. The third thing I would look at is making sure I get a good selection of cheaper vegetables. So looking at things that are perhaps on the sell-by date that day or are reduced, and purchasing those. And often you'll find that fresh vegetables, they cost about the same as things like crisps and biscuits, and they're a lot better for you. How do you get rock hard abs? Well, it's a combination of diet and exercise. So put quite simply, exercise-wise, high intensity interval training, sprint training, repeats, resistance training is the best method for burning abdominal fat, alongside a good diet. So plenty of proteins and vegetables, and the combination of those two things should eventually lead to the development of rock hard abdominal muscles. A high protein diet can certainly not only help you lose weight, but help you lose fat. So protein, generally speaking, helps to stimulate the metabolism, and it also helps to build muscle, and muscle is what creates your metabolism. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn per day. It also helps alongside your training. So if you're doing the correct training, hopefully resistance training, interval training, it helps with your recovery and your development in that area as well. So all in all, a high protein diet is probably the best way to burn. Eating celery burns calories in the same way that eating grass, sawdust or cardboard also burns calories whilst you eat it. So every second you're burning calories. Celery just happens to have almost no calories in, so there's no sort of net gain in calories whilst you eat it. So does eating celery burn calories? Not really. And does it matter? Not really. My healthy eating motto would be proper planning prevents a fat belly. Make sure you've got good food, and it will ensure you'll always eat good food and be nice and healthy.